Good morning, esteemed resource person and dear participants. On behalf of Gokhale Education Societies, Sir Dr. M.S. Gosavi, College of Pharmaceutical Education and Research, I, Dr. Dhanashri Mai, feel deeply honored to extend a warm and heartful welcome to all of you on the second day of 1 week international e-FDP STP on fostering research, innovation, and academic excellence in pharmacy. Today, we are pleased to have Dr. Pranav Kumar Prabhakar as a keynote speaker. Welcome, sir. It's my great privilege to introduce Dr. Pranav Kumar Prabhakar, Professor, HOD, Department of Biotechnology, School of Engineering and Technology, Nagaland University. As per as educational qualification is concerned, sir has PhD in biotechnology from esteemed university, that is Indian Institute of Technology, in 2011. Then he's completed his masters in biochemistry from Patna University in 2003 and bachelor degree in chemistry from Lalit Narayan Mithila University from 1996 to 1999. Sir is a distinguished academician and researcher with over 15 years of extensive teaching and research experience. As far as the expertise is concerned, Sir is expert in molecular biology and genetic regulation, cancer biology and translational research, nanobiotechnology and drug delivery, research ethics and scientific misconduct, experimental design and data analysis. Sir is having a huge work experience. He has started his career as an assistant professor in Lovely Professional University in August 2011, where he is promoted to associate professor in August 19 and professor in September 2021. After that, he shouldered and head of Department of Research, Impact and Outcome in the same university from July 2022 to July 24. Then he moved to Parul University, where he shouldered an responsibility of an deputy director, research and development cell, and also worked as a professor. Then now currently, sir is working as a professor and head of department in biotechnology at Nagaland University. Dr. Prabhakar has an outstanding research portfolio with more than 125 research papers, 24 book are authored by him, and also having more than 40 review article and book chapters. He has also delivered more than 50 invited lectures. Under the guidance of Sir, more than 8 PhD students has completed their PhD and more than 40 students has completed post-graduation. As per as the research portfolio of the Sir is concerned, Sir is having a citation more than 3000, H index of 29 and I-10 index of 56. Beyond the research, he is also shouldering and significant academic and administrative leadership role, that he is working as an head of department, also board of studies and academic committee member. Sir is also an NAC coordinator and PhD examiner for more than 20 institutes. Sir, his research work is converted into and different research funding. Sir is having an research funding from DBT, DST and UGC. Apart from this, we are honored to say that Sir is recognized as an Stanford University world's top 2% scientist for successively 5 years from 2021 to 25 till now. And also, Sir is also included in top 2 scientists by career impact by Stanford University. Recently, Sir is included in that. So we are honored to have such an accomplished scholar and academic leader today with us. Please join in warm welcoming Dr. Pranav Prabhakar, sir. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sir, just a minute. Sir is going to talk on research excellence in pharmacy education, innovation, ethics, and high impact publishing. Without taking your much time, I'm handovering this virtual podium to Sir. Please, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much for elaborative introduction. And it's my privilege for providing the platform to interact with all the researchers and faculties. Uh, so just give me 1 second. Let me go to the slides, and then we will roughly 1.5 hour. We will talk about the research excellence and how a better research output can be done in pharmacy, especially, and then some other allied subjects also. Uh, my slides are visible now, right? Is it moving? My slides are moving, ma'am. Hello. 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 Am I audible? Hello. Hello. Okay. Uh, so, uh, Hello. So we will talk about there are four important aspects we are going to discuss today. These are we will talk about the research, we will talk about the innovation, we will talk about the ethics, and then we will talk about the publications. Uh, Hello.
Sorry, sir.
No,
Technical glitch. Actually,
no, no,
you can
no,
continue,
no.
sir. Please, sir, please.
Okay, fine. Uh, good morning, everyone. So today we are going to talk about the research excellence in pharmacy education. So where we will see about the four important things roughly try to cover. We will see the research. We will see some of the innovation, who are going to play the important role, and how they are going to have a better output in terms of research. Then we will talk about research ethics also, and then we will literally talk about the publishing. Uh, so when we are first talking about the research, what exactly research is? Uh, Actually, research is a structured in such a way so that at its core, research normally means when we are working scientifically to discover the truth of any kind of problem, any phenomena, any issue, or any solution we are trying to get it. So this truth normally is not based on the guesswork or opinion or assumption. It is based on the proper evidence which we generate through experiments, proper logic or proper reasoning. If you will go for examples, instead of assuming that why a crop yield is very low, a researcher normally systematically study the soil characters, their soil quality, weather patterns, or number of other parameters they evaluate it. So research actually it is a systematic process where now we investigate and we analyze the information for generation of the new knowledge, validate the existing information which is available onto the scientific platforms, and then try to solve the specific problems. So this systems normally ensures the accuracy of the research, accuracy in the data, reliability, and repeatability, which we also call it. The systematic nature of research normally help us to generate new knowledge. So we discover the something very new. We validate the existing knowledge, checking whether what we believe it is true or it is false, and solving the specific problem, a specific issue. So it is either practical, theoretical, or qualitative or quantitative. Normally, if you see the core steps which is involved in the research are for first, it starts with the formulation of the questions. How we are going to formulate a question that every research begins with the clear questions or the problem statement. Then second stage is the collection of the data. Data is gathered using the appropriate methods like experiments, surveys, questionnaires, observations, interviews, simulations, or number of other things. Then the third thing is whatever data we collect, we are going to analyze it. So the data collected data are going to be organized, processed, and analyzed through using systematic, statistical or mathematical tools, or some qualitative techniques like identify pattern, trends, or relationships. Then after the analyzing it, we try to interpret the result. Interpretation of result will be done there we normally explain what is the finding means in the context of the research questions. And lastly, we are going to conclude it. So drawing conclusion based on the evidence which we have already gathered. So conclusion normally answers the original research questions, support or reject the hypothesis, or suggest a new questions for future research. So overall, this is the research. Why? What is research? And if you'll see the what is the significance or what is the importance of research in our terms, normally it drives the scientific or technological progresses. It improves the quality of research. So if we will see why a particular people, why we do research, why we conduct research, there are a number of regions will be there. Here I have included only six different regions, different reasoning for the why we conduct research is. Sometimes we try to expand our knowledge and understanding. Normally, research help us to uncover the new things, new theories, new facts, and that's why we do research. Uh, then we do research to solve the real world problem. Sometime, unfortunate or fortunately, some questions come in front of us, and we try to get the answer for those questions. We try to solve those real world issues. We also research also support the decision making system. So some cases like businesses, or you can call it the policy makers, governments, or different organizations normally believes on research based on the support evidences, and that evidence we collect it through the experiments. We collect through the research only. Then we validate the existing theory and hypothesis. Research normally tests the different theories and different hypotheses and then tells us that whatever we believe it is true or false. Research also drives the innovation, technological advancement, and research establishes the credibility and contribute to the academic platform, academic scenario. Whatever type of research we do, there are 5 different ways by which we are going to classify the research. The first way of classification of research is based on the approach. So there we are having 2 types of research. We are having qualitative research and we are having quantitative research. As its name suggests, qualitative research is having quality based. So there we don't have any numerical value. We don't have mathematical values. So it will be mainly descriptive in the nature. When we talk about the quantitative research, there we are having numerical value, statistical tools can be applied, mathematical tools can be applied. And qualitative, we cannot use any statistical tool or mathematical tools. This is one way of classifying of research. Second way of classification of research is based on the purpose. So there again, we are having 2 broad class of research. We are having a basic research, which also called as the fundamental research or the pure research. And second one is the applied research. Basic research actually means when we try to expand our knowledge, we try to understand the fundamental things, fundamental processes, or try to understand the how things works. And applied research is the when we use application of particular research into a real world. So, like for example, if I'm going to study how a cell replicates or how cell divides, yeah, how mitochondria works, it is a basic research. But when same application can be used for the treatment of certain diseases or for application for the boost of the stamina of an athlete's mitochondria can be used, that is the applied research. So the basic research is basic understanding, basic fundamental things, and applied research is for their applications. The third way of classification is on the basis of methodology. There we are having 5 ways: descriptive, analytical, experimental, exploratory, and explanatory. And as its name suggests, descriptive normally describes the characteristic features, functions without manipulating any kind of variables. Whereas in case of experimental research, we manipulate different variables. Whenever we are having more than one variables, we try to manipulate variables. We keep one variable constant, other variables, we changes it, and then we see their effect. Explanatory research normally seeks explanation, the research reason behind the particular phenomena. The fourth way of classification of research is on the basis of time dimension. We are having cross-sectional research or we are having longitudinal research. Cross-sectional research, when research is focused for one particular point of time, one specific time, like one particular month, one particular day, one particular week, then it is cross-sectional research. But when we are talking about a long period of durations, where time between the 2 different dates or 2 different endpoints, then we call it longitudinal research. Fifth way of classifying research is on the basis of logic, where we are having deductive research, we are having inductive research. Deductive research, it starts with the theory and ends with its tested hypothesis. And in case of inductive, it is just opposite. It normally observes the pattern and lastly come with the theory. So theory will be the outcome in this case, inductive research. And in case of deductive, it starts with the theory. So these are the 5 ways by which we are going to classify the research. Now, what is research excellence, especially in the pharmacy? So in the pharmacy, if you'll see it, research excellence is not an optional. It is an essential for advancing medicines because we use such type of systems. So it is for the advancement of medicine systems, improving patient cares, or strengthening the public health system. And that is when we, if you are going to see the different components of the research excellence. So we are having 5 different components. What are those 5 components? First component in terms of research excellence, if you'll see it, because the last point will be very small in the font size will be very small because we didn't have too much of a space. But you can take the screenshot and we can see it. So when we are going to see the first thing, that is the scientifically rigorousness, there we have 3 important components. Like we focus on it is based on the methodology, reproducibility of the result, and validation of the protocols. First, when we talk about the sound methodology, research must be based on the well-structured research design. Clearly defined objective and hypothesis must have to be there. Appropriate experimental model must be selected, like either in vitro, in vivo, or clinical setups. Control groups and randomization must be done properly, and proper statistical tool has to be used. That is in case of sound methodology. because these are all part of the methodology only. When we are talking about the reproducibility of the results, so result must be consistent when experiments are repeated under the similar terms and conditions which you have done it. When you publish paper, so if someone is going to follow your protocols, same result must be replicated there also. So reproducibility normally ensures the drug stability confirmations, batch-to-batch consistency, as well as the reliable clinical trial outcomes. So if there is any kind of failure in the reproducibility, it can lead to drug recall or therapeutic failure will be there. And the third is validated protocols. So protocol must follow the established guidelines, which is you can call it a standard like ICH guidelines, WHO guidelines, or some other pharmacopoeial standards like IP, BSP, USP. Whatever guidelines you are following, it must be as per the guidelines. Then second important things in terms of research excellence is the ethical and the responsible. There we are having four important components like GLP, that is good laboratory practice. It especially ensures the laboratory studies are conducted with the proper documentations, SOPs like standard operating procedures, equipment calibrations regularly, and data integrity. GLP applies mainly for the preclinical studies. Second, we are having GCP, that is good clinical practices. It ensures the ethical conduct of the clinical trials, like protection of the human samples, if you are using human samples, risk benefit assessments, informed consent documents whenever we have to take consent, like it should be, and monitoring and reporting of adverse effect. Third is GMP, that is good manufacturing practices. GMP ensures the safety and the quality of the drug productions, like clean manufacturing environment, quality control testing, proper packaging and labeling. Sorry. Fourth one is the research integrity. Okay. Research integrity, I missed it. So research is there, we normally avoid fabrication of the data, falsification. There are roughly 13, 14, 15 different kind of misconducts. In the later slides, we will talk in detail about the research misconducts. So research integrity must be maintained in terms of fabrication of the data, falsification of the data, conflict of interest, as well as the plagiarism. Okay. Then when we are talking about the innovativeness, there we are having new drug development, especially discovery of the new clinical entities, new clinical molecules, either it will be template or the new drug molecules, new biologicals or biosimilars, or herbal drug standardizations. Second one is a novel drug delivery system. These are the different aspects of research excellence in terms of in pharmacy. For drug delivery systems, we can have nanoparticles, liposomes, or other dendrimers, or different other kind of different drug delivery systems like transdermal patches or controlled release formulations. Especially when we talk about the drug delivery system, these improves the bioavailability of the drugs, target specificity, targeted drug delivery, as well as the patient compliance. Then we are having personalized medicines. Normally, it reduces the adverse drug reactions and optimize the dosing. And then we are having translational research, where we are moving discoveries from the bench to the market through preclinical and the clinical trials. Fourth one, we are having impact oriented, where we normally improves the treatment outcomes, like better increased efficacy or efficiency, faster recovery, as well as the reduced hospital stage will be there, means hospitalization rate will be reduced. Second one will be reduced adverse drug reactions. There normally pharmacovigilance come into the picture, and they help us to identify the rare side effects, improves the labeling warnings, and ensure drug safety monitorings. Then we are having influence on the clinical guidelines. There normally national treatment protocols, WHO recommendation, and hospital formulation decisions has to be applicable. And lastly, we are having policy on the industrial impact. And the last point is societal relevance, because everything, whatever we do, that is for society only. So pharmacy research must address public health challenges which is existing into the society. So there we are having, it should be affordable medicines like generic drug development or the cost-effective formulation strategy or bioequivalence studies. Then we are having public health priorities like antimicrobial resistance, which is now spreading very high, tuberculosis, malaria, HIV, and for those drugs where we don't have treatment or we don't have effective treatments. Then vaccine development we are having. Then, when we talk about the healthcare accessibility, research should promote the rural healthcare solutions, telepathy, especially if it is available, because it will help in the villages or the remote area where all the facilities are not available. Essential medicines availability, and last one is the alignment with the global goals. There, normally we have to take care of all the goals, especially SDG 3, that is Sustainable Development Goal, which is good health and well-being. Then universal health coverage, national health programs. So societal relevance research ensures the equity in the healthcare delivery. So if we'll see, these are the research excellence in the pharmacy is not limited to the publishing just paper only. It involves uh, important things like advancing scientific knowledge, ensuring patient safety, promoting ethical responsibility, delivering healthcare impact, and society, serving the society. Then, if you'll see what is the importance of the research excellence, there are four important parameters I have given here. The first one is the research, that is the foundation of the pharmaceutical innovations. In research, normally we have a lot pharmaceutical research. It normally derives the discovery, development, and safe use of medicines. There we have lots of different area for in terms of the research excellence, like drug discovery and design, pharmacology, toxicological studies. Why research matters? There are a number of other area also, but which I have escaped it, like pharmacovigilance, novel drug delivery system, herbal medicines. Nowadays, because herbal medicines is spreading, people have increased, users have been increased a lot. Biopharmaceuticals, vaccines, and regulatory services. Why research matters? Because it ensures the safety, efficacy, and quality of the medicines. It reduces the adverse side effect. Second one is when we talk about the education. So education means we are going to train the future pharmacists and the researchers. So pharmacy education must be research driven in the relevant field, and it should remain relevant. If you see the what is the impact of research on pharmacy education is updated curriculum as per the requirement, aligned with the current drug development trends, hands-on training, especially in the formulation, their analysis, and the clinical research, preclinical as well as post-clinical, exposure to the regulatory guidelines, and development of critical thinking and the problem-solving skills must be developed into the students. Third one is the healthcare. That is direct impact of the patient cares. So pharmacy research directly influences the healthcare quality. So it normally contribute to the healthcare system is the development of safer and more effective medicines, personalized medicines, and pharmacogenomics, improving drug delivery systems. So in public health emergencies, normally rapid vaccine development, like we have done during the COVID, drug repurposing strategies, because most of the templates we are normally reusing for different other means it has been known for the medicinal properties, but now we are reusing for different other efficacious diseases. And then evidence-based treatment guidelines. Fourth one, and that is the most important, is society, that is improving quality of life. So pharmaceutical research as well as education ultimately benefits society. So as we have already talked about the affordable generic medicines, access to the essential drugs, improve life expectancy. So many countries with a strong pharmaceutical research sectors becomes global leader in the medicine production and the healthcare innovations. Uh, Lastly, which is not included here, is the ethical responsibility in the pharmacy research. In pharmacy, normally research excellence must be supported by the ethical clinical trials, especially transparent reporting of the drug safety data, which is most important because drugs are directly going to be used on the human samples or humans. A strict regulatory compliance, and the commitment to the patient welfare. In the last, if you'll see, in research excellence forms the backbone of the research, education, healthcare, and society. It ensures the safe and effective medicines, skilled healthcare professionals, improve the patient outcome, and national and global health mission. But these, whatever we have talked about in these research excellence in those five previous subjects area, as well as in these four research for education, healthcare, and society, it is done by not only by one person. There are every stakeholders roles are there. So the first important, when we talk about the education and the research, first stakeholder is the faculty. So here we are going to see the most critical component of the research excellence in the pharmacy, the role of faculty members. So faculties are not just a teacher; they are mentors also, because many students are teachers are role model for many of their students. They are good innovators, leaders, and the role model who shape the entire research culture. So if you say faculty members can play a central role in identifying research problems and guiding students through hypothesis development, experimental design, and data interpretation. So mentoring and guidance is one of the most important things, more important role which good mentor or good teacher can play. So a good mentor does not just supervise; they inspire the curiosity, critical thinking, and independence of the students. Second one is they can help students into the understanding of the grant writing and the collaborative. So research excellence normally requires a good amount of funding as well as the partnership. So faculty must actively seeking grant from the agency like ICMR, DST, TBT, serve number of funding in national as well as international funding agency we are having. So writing a strong research proposal requires clarity in the objective, innovative methodology or the protocols, societal relevance, and the feasible budgeting. And their collaborations also play a significant role, whether it is interdisciplinary within the institution or with national or international partner. It enhances normally the research quality and broaden the impact. Third one is ethical role modeling. Faculty normally set the ethical tone of the institutions. So by adhering the good laboratory practices, good clinical practices, GLP, GCP, or ethical guidelines, they demonstrate responsible research conduct. Fourth important point is high quality publications. Research excellence is reflected or it is measured not only by the number of publications but also their quality as well as the impact. So faculty should aim to publish their paper into peer-reviewed index journals and focus on the meaningful contribution in the areas such as drug discovery, clinical pharmacy, and some other area of pharmacy wherever it can be possible. Publication normally enhances the institution's reputations, rankings, improves the quality, and attract funding opportunity also. And the last point in this case is the research leadership. So faculty must take initiative in building the research infrastructure, organizing different kind of workshops, either through related to research or any other field, as well as the FDP faculty development programs, mentoring junior colleagues, and framing institutional research policies. So overall, if you conclude this for role of faculty, faculties are the backbone of research excellence in the pharmacy. Through mentorship, funding initiatives, and ethical conduct, quality publication, and visionary leadership, they create the environment where innovation thrives. Then, second important thing is where it should be, we should have to create a culture in our institutions which is student-centric. So, a strong research institution is not defined only by their faculty publications or the funded projects, but also how actively your students, either UG, PG, or PhD, or different other students, are engaged in meaningful research activities. So, especially in the pharmacy education, students are future researchers, they are clinicians or industry professionals, or sometimes they are going to be policymakers also. Therefore, nurturing a research mindset early in the essential. So again, we are having five important points for this student-centric research culture at the institution. First one is the early research exposures. So research orientation should begin in the early years of the pharmacy or pharmacy or pharmacy. Students should be introduced to basic research methodology, literature searching using databases like PubMed, Scopus, or some other laboratory research techniques. And my opinion, one of the research course or must have means after first year onwards, because first year is the introductory portion for the B pharmacy. After first year, every semester must have a research related courses. Second is their UG and PG, UG project and PG dissertations. So undergraduate research programs provide students with the hands-on experiences in the formulation development, different other pharmaceutical features like analytical methods, validations, pharmacological screening, or review-based research. Journal club means at the institutions, every institution must have a journal club. These are the platform where students normally critically analyze the recent published research articles either by their faculty or the different persons. This practice normally develops their ability to evaluate, study design, statistical method, and clinical relevance. It also keeps them updated with the recent advancement in the pharmaceutical sciences. Research ethics training. Research pharmacy normally directs impact on the patient safety. So ethical awareness is very essential for the pharmacy students. So all the pharmaceutical students related to pharmacy backgrounds, they must be trained in the good laboratory practices, good clinical practices, and informed consent procedures, as well as the plagiarism preventions. So institution must organize different kind of workshop on the research integrity and case studies on misconducts, which help the student to understand the importance of honesty and accountability. Again, we will talk about this one when we will talk about the ethics related things. And the last one is the skill development. In institutions, student-centric research culture must focus on both technical as well as the soft skill. Technical skill is included their analytical instrumentations, and soft skills normally includes the research writings like scientific writing, data interpretation, teamwork, and the grant proposal writing. So a student-centric research culture normally builds confidence, competence, and the curiosity in the organizations. Whatever way we are doing research, so every research must lead to a publication. So again, why we need to get publication, why we are going to do publication, there must be different regions. So again, I have included here only 6 important regions, but the regions may be different for different peoples. So we publish paper to knowledge dissemination or contribution in the science. We publish paper because we want our recognition in the academic or professional fields. We publish paper because of our career advancement, for promotions, or sometimes for funding agency requires publication in the relevant area. So that's why we do the publication. We publish because of the to seek main collaborations and the networking also. We improve whenever we are having publication, the good research, it improves our citations, reputation, and our scientific standing into the scientific community. And last one is we are addressing real world problem and innovation. Again, these are not the limited only these 6 regions. There are a number of regions why we publish papers, but these 6 are important regions why we are going to publish paper. Whatever way we are going to do publish paper, every paper must follow a formula. I'm talking about the original paper, that we call it IMRAD formula, where we are having 4 important components like introduction, material, methods, results, and discussion. What we are going to discuss into the introduction section, your paper must contain these portions in your introduction section whenever you are writing it. What exactly you are writing and why now you are writing it. Who are you to write it? What is the exact problem you are addressing? What is the background of it? And do you any prior hypothesis about that particular problem is existing or not? Methodology is the exact way by which we are going to tackle our problem. We are going to solve our problem. So there we normally discuss how did you do the study, why, which type of material methods, which type of instrumentation you have used, which type of sample you have used, what methodology you are going to use, and how you have analyzed those experimental data which you have generated. Then we are talking about the results. What is we have observed during our experimental methodology? How much data to be included in the paper? What to be given into the picture? What to be given into the table? And what are the exact key findings that we normally discuss into the results section, and then we are having discussion where our exact whatever we have observed, where it exactly existing into the context of the earlier existing informations. So if you'll see the IMRAD formula, that is a simple formula, but if you'll see the paper there, we don't have only these 4 components. It starts with the title. Title is very important because whenever you are publishing your paper and anyone is searching your paper, the first thing which come into the picture in front of any reader is the title, and then abstract. So a title is one of the most important component of your paper, and then abstract that because that is first come in front of the person. So this is normally the important point which I want to say in this slide is, if your paper can be written in n number of words, you should not include even a single extra word. So paper, if n word is sufficient to write your paper, don't use n+1 word in your paper. How we are conducting a literature search and why it is important. There are different types of literatures. We call it primary literature, secondary literature, tertiary literatures. Any literatures, any publication which includes the original raw data, raw information which we gathered through experiment is called as primary literatures. based on the primary literature, we make secondary literatures, we write secondary articles, and then we are having tertiary, which is normally a documentary type of things, encyclopedias. So we have with two words normally we are using, because literature search and literature review. Literature search is the process of collection of the relevant informations, and the literature review is the analysis of the collected information which you have collected during the literature search. As you can call it as good as literature search and literature review you will do it, that much good research gap you will find it, because research gap is the things which is going to define your objective of your work. So research gap means the things which has not which is unexplored till now, which has not been discovered, which has unanswered question till now. So how we are going to identify research gaps? These are the different steps, and there are lots of tools we are having available on internet. Either it is AI based tools, or it is a kind of other non AI based tools, or normally computer tools. These tools must be used by every researcher, because they are going to improve your efficiency, improve your research outputs. So these are the steps. On the left hand side, we have written the different kind of steps. So conduct a thorough literature search, analyze the research studies, identify the contraindication and the inconsistencies, and by this way we are going to find the research gaps. There are eight different types of research gaps we are having. So whatever research, whenever we are going to define our research gap must fall into any of these 8 research gaps. So the first is theoretical. If there is a gap between the theory which fails to explain the certain phenomena, if we call it theoretical gap. We are having empirical gap. There, if gap exists when there is insufficient empirical evidence. Methodological gap, if some methods have been biased or which is required to be updated. Population is when it will be studies focused on the limited geographical regions, demographic regions, and leaving certain group unexplored. Contextual or geographical gaps is when search is conducted in a specific regions or context. Conceptual gap is when concepts or definitions are vague, unclear, or evolving. Evidence gap is the gap exists when there is a lack of data or a strong conclusion regarding to the particular research questions. And practical gap is when the research finding exists but they are not applied in real world settings. So any research, whatever we do, these are falling into any of these 8 steps only. For every research gap, these are the 3 important points. So research gap must be novel. Then research gap must be feasible. So it can be studied with the available resources at your institution or at the nearby institution, and methodology. And research gap must be impactful, so that it will address the real world problem. Otherwise, it will be of no use. So you can use, whenever you are going to define research gap, you can use the formula that is called FINER criteria. It should be feasible, interesting, novel, ethical, and relevance. After research, normally we try to once we have finalized research gap, then we are going to finalize hypothesis. Hypothesis is a testable, which is a statement which normally predicts the relationship between 2 or more variables, and which can be tested through different ways. So it is a testable statement. It normally provides the direction of your scientific query, scientific works, and helps to validate the research finding. Every hypothesis must be specific, measurable, testable, and based on the existing knowledge. So there are 4 important points why hypothesis is important for a research. Because it guides the research design and the methodology. It provides the clear focus on the research collections. It helps in the theory and advancing scientific knowledge, and it drives the conclusion. There are 4 different types of you can call up research hypothesis. Null hypothesis, where there is no significant or relationship exists. If there is a relationship exists, we call it alternative hypothesis. When there is a relationship exists, it can be divided into 2 parts: directional or non-directional. Directional means if your research, if your hypothesis gives you a clear cut direction of your research, it's called directional. And when there is no direction, it gives non-directional. For example, there is no significant relationship between the screen time and the sleep quality. Because there is no relationship, so that is null hypothesis. If there is an increased screen time reduces sleep quality, because that is the alternative hypothesis, because there is a relationship between the screen time and the sleep quality. Third is if your third example is higher caffeine intake make to lower sleep duration, because it is a directional. If you take more coffee, so it will give you leads to lower sleep duration. So one particular direction is given. In the fourth case, it's just only the caffeine intake affect the sleep duration. So there you don't know it is increasing or it is decreasing. So there is a non-directional. So these are the four different type of hypotheses we can have or we are having. So how we are going to formulate the hypothesis? So first identify a research problem, then review existing literatures, determine the variables, make it testable. So how we do, because it is a testable statement, so how we are going to test it? So we should have the proper experimental design, conduct controlled experiment to test the hypothesis. Data collection, so gather the evidence from the surveys, interviews, or the observations to gather evidence. A statistical analysis, use the proper tool, exact correct tools, and then conclusion. So if your hypothesis is supported, it will give you a new theory. But if your hypothesis is rejected, it modifies or refines the hypothesis have to be done. Sorry. Then comes the research objective. What is the research objective is? So it is sequential. First you do the literature search, then you find out the research gap, then you formulate the hypothesis, and then on the basis of that one, we are having the research objective. So it is a well-defined objective, gives you the clarity, structure, and direction of your study. So that is goal also you can call it. What is the goal of your things? So there are two broad classes of objectives we can have: general objective and a specific objective. The broad goal of research, that is the general objective. When we are going to break down the general objective into multiple small steps or small objectives, we call it a specific objectives. Like for example, we are having a general objective that to study the impact of societal media on the students' academic performance. That has been divided into three small specific objectives. So one general objective can be fragmented into multiple parts, and that can be how to we can ensure that our objectives are better. So we can use the formula that is called a SMART. So objectives should be very specific. It should be measurable, achievable on the given duration of time. It should be relevant and it should be time bound. Uh, Generally, these are the common mistakes we do when we write the objectives, being too broad or too vague, not aligned with the research questions, using subjective or unmeasurable terms, and writing objectives that are too ambitious. Now, when we have done all the things, then we come to the title of the research paper. So, there we are having so whenever we are defining the title, so every title must be novel or must be the original. How we are going to find out the word how title is novel or title is uh, innovative, means it will be it is original one. Just give me 1 second. Just so every research title should be novel and it should be original. So novelty means your research should add something new to the scientific community. Whatever existing information we are having, in that one you are going to add something new. This does not always mean that discovering something completely which is unheard about it. So novelty can come from a study of a new population or the context, applying the existing methods to a new, different way. You can use a new techniques or new tools. You can address a gap or limitation of the earlier existing studies. So these are the different things. Uh, Key aspects of novelty is a specific outcome must be there. So clearly define what exactly new result you are expecting, a specific subject area, and a new methodology, new perspective. Second important thing for a good research topic is it should be executable and it should be achievable. A topic must realistically within your constraints. This means asking, do I have the necessary skills? Uh, do I have access of all the required resources, like in terms of equipment, in terms of data analysis, in terms of funding, in terms of samples, or can it be completed within the available time frame? Because every research must have a time limitations. So an ambitious topic that cannot be completed is worse than a modest topic done well. Third important thing is research. Good research topics should fit within the existing research. So research does not happen in isolation. Your research topic should build upon the previous studies, align with the current scientific discussion, be grounded with the literature evidence. This normally involves that making sure that nobody has already done that existing same study or learning from methods used by other one. And the last one is it should be usable by society or some policy makers. So good research should have the real world relevance, real world applications. So this includes normally solving the societal or environmental or health or technological problems, supporting evidence-based policy making systems, or some other ways. So how these factors normally work together is because a good research topic lies in the intersection of the originality, feasibility, scientific relevance, and societal usefulness. Whenever we are talking about the novelty, it means their repetition must be missing there. It should not be repeatable. When we are talking about the feasibility, it should be which is missing is should be incomplete research. So, in simple word, a good research topic is a new, doable, it's executable, scientifically grounded, and societal meaningful topic. Then there are some eye-catchy paper titles. You must have the title. Your title should be brief and clear. Use active words as much as possible in the title. Keep the title length up to 10 to 12 words only. Keep keywords in the title, and don't write lengthy titles. I will give you some of the examples also here when we are talking about the title. Okay. So if you will see here, some of the examples also we are having. Like in the first thing is journal editors and reviewers see what they look at your paper. What is first come in front of the picture, in front of any person. Like in the first thing, if you see, there are three examples I've written it, and there are four questions we are having. Does it predict the content? Is it catchy? Is it concise? Or are keywords included? So every topic must be. You should ask these four questions, which whenever you are going to define your title, and the answer must be in yes. Like when you are talking about the first example, like quantitative effect of yoga on the cardiovascular stress management in 50%. So there, does it predict the content? Yes, it gives you what are the information you can find in the paper. Does it eye catchy? No, because the title is very too long and too technical. Is it concise? Exactly no. Are keywords included? Yes, keywords are included. There are two nodes. So this title is scientifically accurate but overly detailed, including sample size in the title and often unnecessary, which makes it really less readable. Then comes to the second topic, yoga guru in essential hypotension. For all three are for the same title. So the title is if you see the yoga guru in essential hypotension, does it create content? No, it will not give you any information that what you can find in the paper. Is it eye catchy? Yes, it's eye catchy. Is it concise? No, because meanings are unclear and are keywords included because keywords no keywords are there. So this title is very vague and misleading. It may attract attention, but it does not clearly communicate the study of focus. Then comes to the third one, which is the paradigm shift in the management of hypertension, quantitative effect of yoga. So in this case, we are going to get answer for all the four questions that are yes. So this is a perfect title out of these three. Similarly, whenever we are doing a title, title is first and most visible portion of your research work, research paper. It serves as a precise summary of your core idea. Okay. Here again, we are having three original titles and three titles. Those titles has been modified as a revised title. So the title which was earlier was action of antibiotics on bacteria. That is too broad and too vague. It has been modified into inhibition of the growth of mycobacterium tuberculosis by streptomycin. So we have mentioned in the title a specific organism name, antibiotics name, and a specific effect is mentioned in the title. So this really helps researcher to search database, find your work very easily. Similarly, in the second, when we are talking about the second example, that is preliminary observation on the effect of Zn element on the anti-corrosion of zinc plating layers. There, The revised title normally removes the redundancy and the focuses directly on the outcome. Similarly, for the third one, that is too broad, means it's too long data, means title is there. So we have a revise. So title must be very relevantly, concisely, and eye-catchy keywords must be included in your paper. No, because when we are talking about the research excellence, there one of the important things come into the picture is the research matrices. So, what are the research matrices? Research matrices are the quantitative tool or indicator by which normally we measures the research quality and influences of the research. So, it is there. We can be used for different purposes. By this, we research matrices, we are going to evaluate the authors, we are going to evaluate the articles, we are going to evaluate journals and institutions for research outcomes, and different type of research matrices we are having. Many of the research matrices you must have heard about it, and these are used for different purposes like academic promotions, grant decisions. It can be used for institutional ranking, strategic plannings. So we have divided all the research matrices into 5 categories. First category is author level matrices, by which we are going to evaluate a particular author or particular researcher, how his or her research outcome is there, how good scientifically they are shown. So these are the parameters by which we evaluate is H index, I-10 index, total citation, average citation per paper, G index, M index, number of paper, and collaboration indexes, where we are talking about the international collaboration, interdisciplinary collaborations, and all other collaborations. Second matrix by which we evaluate a particular journal is good or bad. So that is one of the first thing is indexing. After that one, we are having impact factor, site score, 5-year impact factor, SGR ranking, SNP value, eigen factor, quartiles, and lastly acceptance rate. Then we are having article level metrics, because in one class all the students are not perform similar in the same way. Similarly, in a good journals, all the articles are not going to perform in the same way. So we are having different type of article level matrices. What are those article level matrices are? Like we are having citation count for the particular articles. Then we are having FWCI, which is called field limited citation impact, where not only citation, who cites you. It is in your field or in the different field. So that is most important nowadays, FWCI value. And FWCI is for article also, as well as for the author also. Then we are having relative citation ratio, downloading or view count of your articles, attention, altimetric attention through online attention, and plug metrics. Then, especially for the ranking and accreditations, we are using institutional level matrices. There we are having total publication, total citation, average citations, H index, research outcome, especially grants. This is international collaborations, international co-authorship, national collaborations, and rankings. And lastly, we are having their presence on the social media, where we are going to have this social media mentioned and the different platforms, news coverage, blog posts, Wikipedia, patent citations, and other public presentations and other things. So these are the different research matrices we are using for different purposes. Then, the last portion of the topic is the research misconduct. What is exactly misconduct is? Whenever we are doing anything unethical, which is not morally correct, we call it misconduct. So it is deliberate unethical behavior which normally violates the standard code of scholarly conduct, and ethical behavior is called as misconduct. Normally, it undermines the credibility of the scientific enterprises and distorts the scientific records. And as per the US Office of Research Integrity, there are 3 important research misconducts: are the fabrication, falsification, and the plagiarism. In short form, we call it FFP. Fabrication, falsification, and plagiarism. Some of the key principles for research ethics are, we are having total 5 research means key principles. First key principle is the honesty and the transparency. So every researcher who is associated with the research must present the data truthfully, without any kind of making of data, fabricated data, falsified data, or the selective reporting, biased reporting. So scientific knowledge normally builds cumulatively. Everyone has to contribute equally, and if one study is dishonest, it can mislead future research, waste resources, and harm public trust. Second one is objectivity. So every research decision should be based on the evidence, not personal belief, personal financial interest, or external pressures. Bias normally compromises the scientific credibility and can lead to the incorrect conclusion, affecting the policy if policy makers are going to use your research, healthcare, and public perception. Third one is the confidentiality and the privacy. Uh, every researcher must protect the personal, sensitive, and identifiable information of the research participants. Participants normally trust the researcher with private and sharing private information. So any kind of breach in the confidentiality can cause harm. So harm can be social, financial, or psychological. Fourth one is the accountability. Normally, researchers are responsible to ensure the compliance with the ethical guidelines. Either it will be institutional policies or the legal standards. Ethical accountability normally protects the institution, funding bodies, or the participants, and then integrity of the research processes. And last one is the fair credit and authorship. All contributors should receive appropriate recognition, and the authorship should reflect genuine intellectual contributions. Academic reputation and career advancement depends on the fair authorship. Especially, we are having a special system which is normally Elsevier using it. We call it credit system. I will show it to you. Now, why research misconduct is important in terms of when we are talking about the research or the excellence in the research? Because this scientific misconducts typically includes FFP, which already we have talked about, but there are a number of different ways, different other type of misconducts are also there. So whenever misconduct happens, it misleads the scientific community and the public. Science advances by building the previous fundings. When research funding are false and manipulated, other researchers-based experiments are going to use incorrect data. It wastes resources, different kind of resources like funds, time, manpower, infrastructures, and other things. So a falsified data set in cancer research may lead to the multiple labs worldwide to pursue ineffective therapeutic targets. So there will be financial loss and delayed scientific progress will be there. It may harm the patient ecosystem and the public policy, especially in terms of in the field of pharmacology, environmental science, biotechnology, medicines. The false data can directly cause the harms of life. So unsafe drug may enter into the clinical trial, patients may receive the ineffective or harmful treatment, and their life, it can be life-threatening also. It damages the reputation of the individual, institutions, and journals. Scientific credibility is very fragile. So long-term professional and institutional consequences can lead if a misconduct happens. And the fifth and last is it undermines the future research by building flawed data. So science is cumulative. As I have told you, everyone has to contribute it. One false result can influence the hundreds of citations, doctoral theses, policy recommendations, and number of other things. So, what are the different ethical misconducts we can see or we are having in the sciences or in scientific? There are 14 different types of scientific misconducts we are having. The first and most important is the plagiarism. When we are going to copy someone else's work and claim as your own. So it is a first, it's called literary theft. So we are doing theft and we are lying about it. Second one is the fabrication of data, where we normally fabricate data. We are going to create fake data or fake result without performing the actual experiment. So experiment has not performed, but we are manipulating, we are creating the fake information, fake data for that one. And third and most important ethical misconduct is the falsification of the data, where we normally manipulate or alter the data so that conclusion can be fit as per our choice. So these three are one of the most three important misconduct which happens in the research communities. Then we are having salami slicing. Whenever full story will be divided into multiple small pieces just to increase the number of count. So one story you are going to divide into number of pieces, number of paper you will have, and so reader will not get the actual essence of the paper. So that is called salami slicing, and that normally increases the redundancy in the scientific community. Then we are having another is duplicate publications. Means as a researcher, I submit my paper at multiple journal at the same time. That is one kind of duplication. Another kind of duplication is we are going to publish my own previously published information in the newly formed or modified form. or we are going to publish the conference data into the journal or journal data into the conference, or we are going to publish your own paper from by changing their language from one language to another language. So all these are called as duplicate publications. Then we are having self-plagiarism, where you are going to use your own publication without disclosure or without giving proper credit, reuse of your own published content. Ghost authorship is where we are going to exclude the actual contributor from the authorship. So those who had contributed, they are not part of the authorship. They have not got any kind of authorship. They sell it or they have done anything. So the actual contributor is behind the scene. Next, we are having gift authorship, where we are going to include those person also who has actually non-contributor as an author, who has not contributed anything in the paper, but they are part of the authorship. Then we are having citation manipulations. So there are means all the research matrices are based on the citation only. So if you are increasing your citations, normally you are manipulating your research matrices. So there are three important citation manipulation where we include the self citation too much. I will show you some of the example also. Then we include the citation cartels, where we are going to cite our colleagues' paper. My colleagues will cite my paper. So a group of people cite each other's paper without doing self citation. And then coercive citation is where reviewers suggest that reviewers or editorial office suggest author to include few or more citation in their paper. So these are the three ways by which citation can be manipulated. Then if you are submitting by knowingly, if you're submitting your paper to a predatory journal or cloned journals, that is again a kind of misconduct. So by knowingly you are doing a wrong thing. Then if you require any kind of ethical approval, either it will be human, clinical or animal approval, ethical committee approval, so you should take proper approval and then conduct the experiment. So without taking approval, we conduct the research or we are lying about it. If we don't disclose disclose the conflict of interest, any kind of conflict, like either it will be financial or personal or professional, it must be disclosed before the research. Sometimes we manipulate the peer review system also by using the fake review or the influencing the review processes. Paper mill publication, where we buy or sell paper nowadays on the social media. You might have seen the authorship positions are on the sale, first authorship, second authorship, third authorship positions. So that is paper mill publication, we call it. And last one is the retraction avoidance. Whenever we are going to have a kind of explanation has been asked by the publication house, we should give the proper explanation for the retractions whenever it has come to picture. So this is actually credit system, which is a statement used nowadays. Elsevier is using in their papers. So if they have divided all the work related to paper writing into the 14 different part, 14 different. So every author must get one or more terms, one or more different kind of role must be given to the author. So one author may have more than one role, or one role can be given to the more than one author. So, but these are the 14 different types. This is one of the example. Whenever you are submitting your paper, they are asking you a contributor's role, and there you have to include which type of role they have played it. So you will have those 14 options, and you have to select it. Like this is one of the example where author's name and their role has been given as per the credit authorship statement. Now, some of the example for the misconduct in the research is one of the research. This is the cutting from the Hindu newspaper, where it has been reported that 127 paper from the India has been retracted because of an image manipulations. That is falsification, fabrication, where we crop the picture where we are going to use the picture. This is from another journal, website that is called PubPeer, where same picture has been cropped, used twice for two different samples. Like the picture which is in the red rectangle has been duplicated. It has been two times. Similarly, again, this is a picture. So this picture of 36 kDa has been used for here also for GAPDH. So same things can be cropped and used at two different places. So this is called image duplication. So this paper has been retracted. This is one kind of coercive citation. So where this is the reviewer's report, where reviewer has suggested that these two citations must be included in the paper. And you can see this is two citations are both from the same author. So this is just to increase the citation of this particular author. I don't know how this is related to the reviewer. Or you can see here name. in the bottom. Then, like this is, I have cropped from one of the paper which I published in one of the Elsevier journal. If you'll see this highlighted portion, like our institution is passionate about the high quality research and we included 10 to 12 research paper from that institution. This line is unnecessarily inserted here just to increase the citation, just to boost the citations. Otherwise, this line is not at all required for this particular paper. Then, if you'll say in this case is one of the line is from the paper is in paper we have the line that steel is a ubiquitous material and modern industry and citation number 1 has been given, and this is the one number of citation. This citation not at all related to the quoting, but it has been given a reference as a quoting. So this is just to increase the citation of a particular paper. Similarly, for this line, citation number 2 and 3 has been used. If you see the third citation where metal oxide semiconductor tech, not coating or in steel is there. So wrong citation has been incorporated. One kind of misconduct is this one. Like if you see the highlighted portion, one of the reviewer was Sujit Kumar. One paper came to him for the review and the paper was with him for the review and he used the content for publication with his own name. And he later agreed it and it has been retracted. So this is one kind of scientific misconduct where reviewer keep paper with them for the review and meanwhile they submit that same content with his own name. This is another kind of misconduct with the editorial offices where editor-in-chief has inserted his name once paper has been accepted after the second review and later on the paper has been assigned to the other editor. So overall, this was a different type of research misconduct. So finally, if you want to conduct quality research, it requires a systematic approach from identifying relevant literature to the finalizing well-structured research paper. A strong literature search lays groundwork as much as means literature search will do it. Research gap, novelty, and hypothesis will that much good. So framing hypothesis and clearly defined research objective provide the direction and the structure of the study. Crafting a concise and impactful title enhances the research visibility. And last one is by mastering these essential research skills, a scholar can enhance their credibility, relevance, and impact in their work, ultimately driving advancement in their field. So this is all about from my side. I'm available for any kind of questions. If you have anything, please let me know.
Thank you so much, sir. We have one question.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Please let me know.
Yeah, just a minute, sir. From chat box, actually, I'm searching that question. Yeah, here it is. What strategies improve the acceptance role of research manuscript?
I have not printed. One of the study has been done by one of the paper in IEEE. There they have mentioned the it's not no one will tell you the acceptance rate, but acceptance as well as the research visibility. The first thing is title should be very good. Roughly 10 to 13 words must be in the title. Uh, Use keywords as much as possible in your title as well as in the abstract. Collaboration is one of the important things which influences the reviewers because the work has been done into multiple organizations and multiple different kind of ideas came to the picture. Plus, if you are representing content in the form of pictures or diagrams, that is more giving more impact. So there are a number of ways. Means when I'm presenting the work paper is going to be rejected, there I've divided all those regions into 3 different regions. One is the general regions. If your data is very old, where you have not used different kind of significant works or it is vague or you properly written. Second one is the scientific information, scientific flaws, like you have used the sample biasness is there, not using a statistical tool or proper statistical tool, you have not used it, or different, there's some kind of other kind of flaws is there in your methodology. And third, we are going to call it the it's beautification, where we formulation of the paper, formatting of the paper, the referencing, styles, citations, and all those things. So if you will see all the three things, general things of your paper, then scientific content and the beautification, which we call it cosmetic makeups. Uh, so it will increase the chances of acceptance. But no one can take the guarantee of the acceptance by using these tools and techniques. Your paper will be accepted. Only we can suggest.
Thank you so much, sir. I'm not saying any another question. I think everyone understand what you have told. Dr. Pranav Kumar Prabhakar has delivered a comprehensive lecture covering research from its basic definition to final stage of publishing research paper. He began by explaining what is research, emphasizing that research is systemic and scientific investigation aimed at discovering new knowledge and solving the problem. He also highlighted on types of research, research excellence, role of faculty and students in research excellence. He focused on different parts of journal article, that is IMRAD, that is introduction, method, research and discussion. Finally, uh, Finally, sir also discuss about the research misconduct with different example. Thank you so much, sir. On behalf of our institute, please accept this certificate as a token of love. Thank
Thank
you
you,
so
ma'am.
much, sir, for sharing your expertise and knowledge
If,
with
if,
us.
if, if possible, can you send me the soft copy?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
You can send me the soft copy, ma'am, for the certificate.
Yeah. So we are sending by mail.
Thank you. Thank you.
Today we have concluded with our session. All participants are requested to join tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Thank you and stay tuned.
Thank you, ma'am.